This is a video response to snestastic on how you pronounce your username and why you have it and anything that relates to that. It's pretty simple. Marlon Lee is my first and my middle name, and I think fairly nice sounding. Originally, back in 1987, when I first went online on a regular basis, it was on Delphi, now Delphi forums. And I'd been on CompuServe just a little, time or two. And on CompuServe, you're a number, so the system, at that time, the system assigned you a number, and that was it. Rather impersonal. I mean, it was the way the software was designed, so it wasn't anything they could really change. But on Delphi, you were a name. And I knew for quite some time that I wanted to join Delphi. And then I finally found out that we didn't have a local number, and finally I found out that we had gotten a local number. So then I had to sign up to get me a credit card, because I didn't have a credit card at the time, so I had to get me a credit card so I could, pay the monthly fee to access the service. And so I had some time to think up with a name, and couldn't really come up with anything. And finally, and I couldn't use Marlon Lee, because I'm pretty certain I'd have to go back and check some of the old articles in Rainbow Magazine that dealt with Delphi, but I'm pretty certain that 8 characters was the maximum that you could use, at least at that time. And so when I thought about it a little while, I thought, how about Lynn Lee? Lynn, the last half of Marlon, and then Lee. And so I used that, and I still use it some places. In fact, just a week or so ago, I signed up for an account, and I used that name. I have found since some references to that name for Chinese women with that name. I don't know if it could also be a man's name or not, but I didn't think about it having any Chinese connotation. But I can see where it wasn't. People have mistaken me for Chinese, although on some services where you don't see my mug, I have had people sometimes assume that I was a woman, but nobody that really tried to flirt with me or anything, but had that assumption. So, and I just, some places I just lengthened it, and so, I think it sounds, not too bad. I don't think Mom saddled me with all that bad a name, and so, that's, pretty unimaginative reason, but that's what it is. And I must say that in real life, Marlon is just an unusual enough name that people tend to call me Mervyn and Melvin and Marvin and all kinds of somewhat similar names. But here on YouTube, I haven't had much of that. Most people have pronounced it right. It's Marlon, like the fish, or like the rifle, or if you remember back that far, like the car. And like the car, I'm getting out of here.